Larson donated
thank you, Larson.
$20.
Thank you, Heretic. Appreciate it.
Huge fan of the show,
Thank you.
Brian, and
Thank you,
love what
Larson.
you're doing, Mason. But legit question, can an average guy be on the show, or just woman can message you?
Uh-oh.
You said that like most of them choke, right?
Yeah.
Bob Saget
I'll answer
donated
that.
$20.
I'm really selective
No,
with the
but really,
with the guys.
What do you bench?
430.
I'm pretty selective when it comes to like the guys we have on the show. Typically, they have to have like some background in like content creation, public
Meow is Spac
speaking.
Meow donated $20. Don't
they
you
have to be
just hate it when
validated.
your cat wakes you up like this?
Sexism. I mean, but I guess to kind of answer Larson's question, yeah, I mean, I've given a lot of guys chances on the show. Some normal guys, even some guys who claim to, you know, a lot of people choke on the show, and yeah, I've given a lot of chances. And then actually, we had this one guy. I haven't talked about this yet. We had this one guy who came on the show, had 1,000, 2,000 Instagram followers. I don't really like. Honestly, you could have 0 Instagram followers, but if you can like debate and hold your position and actually like have conversations about this, because most men are not really going to be prepared to be honest about this
Aquatic
sort
donated
of shit.
20.
I've invited guys on. Typically, a lot of times, they just choke and they say nothing the entire time. Like, it's hard, granted, but you have to be willing to like try to insert yourself in. Like, I'm not gonna like handhold you to like, I'm not gonna like give you a layup for you to get your point in. Like, you gotta be aggressive a little bit on this podcast if you want to get your word in. And as a guy, like, I'm not gonna like handhold you. Oh, what do you think? No, like, you gotta come in if you want it. Maybe you might say that makes me a bad host, but like, I'm not going to give you layups. Like, you got to just go for it. And like, all the best guys who've been on the show, I never have to give them layups. Andrew Wilson, don't have to give him a layup. Chase, don't have to give him a layup. Mason, don't got to give him a layup. Don't have to be like, well, what do you think about this? And let me help you along in the conversation here. If I want a guy to come on, if a guy wants to come on the show, he has to be at that level. He can't expect me to give him layups. I mean, for me, it's not like a general statement about men. I do think some men can get in over their heads, because it's one thing to be like sitting behind your computer watching the show, be like from the comfort of your own house, your own room. Oh, I would say that when they say this, I would say this, I would say this. It's like, have you ever had like a shower argument where you're like, smoke them in your mind, but then like,
but then you freeze.
Smoke them, but like during the actual argument, you're not like as, and you're like, yeah. The other thing is we get 100 requests per week for men wanting to be on the show. And I mean, you know, we can't accommodate everybody. I don't have time. Like, I would want somebody to submit videos, for example. Okay, talk about, without a script, talk about dating for 2 minutes or something. Did I do that for you?
Yeah, you did that with me.
I was like, yo, send me a video.
I had
of you
to
actually
send
talking.
I had to send videos of me discussing dating topics just off the cuff.
Yeah, and I'll for example, some guys I'll like look at their profile, I'll be like, maybe, and I'll be like, okay, send me a video of you talking about a thing. They even want me to handhold them, and I just say, send me a video of you talking about a dating topic. They're like, well, what? And I'm just like, I'm already starting to like have hesitation there. But yeah, I mean, to real Trump there. You could have no, like, it's not a clout thing, by the way. I'll bring on a guy who has 0 followers, has an average job. It's not your job. It's not your clout. Don't care. It's your ability to actually be able to effectively participate in the debate in the face of people who strongly disagree with you, to actually be able to articulate good arguments. I'm not even that good of a debater. That's why I like to try to have like a little backup, you know.
So the male guests need to be master debaters? Sorry, had to.
I mean, they don't have to be. You don't have to be like Andrew Wilson level. Why don't y'all ever have a Southern man on the podcast? All we get is Cali liberals. Y'all must be scared of a real Southern man's input. Why is there never anyone from my side of the country? This is all bullshit. Y'all never have a real God-loving Southerner on the cast. Well, true. Tell you what, man. Why don't you develop a YouTube channel, and you can engage in debates for half a year, and then when you're competent at actually having any sort of online presence, we can talk about you coming on, but I don't invite anons on the show. So true, yeah, man. Start a YouTube channel, start uploading videos, do some debates, and 6 months, 12 months down the line, we'll take another look at it. If you have the chops, we'll bring you on the show. I've given way too many like random dudes shots who came on the show and contributed nothing or detracted from it. Come on the show, they're not prepared to argue with some of these talking points from the other side. They don't benefit me in any way. In fact, a lot of them blame me for their poor performance and they're choking because they expect me to give them the layup. So I've had dudes who ask to be on the show, I give them a chance, they expect me to handhold them to the like own dunk moment. It never happens. And then they talk shit about me after the show because I didn't handhold them and give them the easy layup that they were looking for. So don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. It is what it is.
Truth donated $20. Brian, you get called misogynist because you treat males different in studio. Try very angrily telling a male they are F-hashing our slurred like you have done to females. You wouldn't dare.
I mean, I do it all the time, just to be fair.
That's why I said he's
I do it
more
constantly.
misogynistic.
I'm pretty sure if I heard a guy say some R-slurred I think I would say it.
Truth donated $20. I love the pod, and I'm a big fan, but you would never display the same level of tempered frustration to a male as you have done regularly to females, speaking to Brian. And you know why you wouldn't.